On a warm night here in downtown Denver, the Colorado Rockies are back at it here at Coors Field. They start a crucial set of games here, 16 straight against the division, and it starts tonight with the world champions. From Coors Field, the Rockies in game 1 of 3 against the San Francisco Giants. Hi, everybody. Jerry Schemmel, along with George Frazier. I'm filling in again for Drew Goodman tonight. And, George, here we are, game number 81. We're about halfway home here. So let's look at that first half of the season. At one point, the Rockies 9 games over 500. Right now, 2 games under. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
Well, and I think two fans all of a sudden start to look around and they say, oh, wait a minute. Look at the Rockies. They're starting to falter now. Wait a minute. They lost 98 games last year. What did you expect at the break? You didn't expect this. 39-31. Only 4 games back. Look at a year ago. 13 and a half back. Team batting. Second in the National League. Second run scored per game. And then look at the starters. 12. Right in the middle. Kind of in that middle pack deal here. But more importantly, they've won 28 ball games. 5th in the National League. That's why they are where they are. The health of De La Rosa, Chacin, of what they've accomplished, anchoring what we're trying to accomplish here, and the emergence of Tyler Chatwood, of what he's been able to do in the starting role. It's all been pretty good, and it's going to get better.
Yeah, a lot of bright spots like George is talking about. One of them maybe top of the list right now these days for the Rockies, Michael Kadire.
Oh, boy. He hadn't been a lot of fun to watch. Yesterday, the 24 hitting game streak, that breaks Dante's deal. He's hit 395 home runs, 16 RBIs. And oh, by the way, yesterday, I'll just get this thing out of the way in a hurry. And he ends up with the base hit in the left field, out of the reach of the shortstop with the Mets. And he's happy about it, but I guarantee you, he'd rather had to win yesterday instead of the loss at 3-2 as the ball hits to the dugout and breaks Dante's record. Again, this guy plays the game the right way.
George,
did you think he'd hit 351? No, but he's hitting it.
Yeah. Hey, good news as well for the Rockies on the injury front. Rafael Betancourt's coming back.
Well, that's exciting news because you got your closer back. Now you can put Rex back in a role that's going to benefit you in the 8th inning, along with Matt Belisle. I know he struggled, but it's still Matt Belisle. He's been good in the past. Those two guys work in the 8th inning along with Betancourt closing. Now it's back to what it was.
And we'll find out about that move and the corresponding move to it as well when we come back. So the Rockies getting a little bit healthier. Michael Kadire trying to help the team break a 4-game losing streak. Back in a moment to Coors Field. last couple of times out, very effective, and he's had a good career against the Giants as well. Welcome back, folks, to Coors Field. Jerry Schimmel along with George Frazier. And George, the Rockies, we mentioned first segment, make a roster move today. Juan Nicasio has been sent down to AAA, and Rafael Betancourt's been activated.
Well, Betancourt's going to be your closer now, and I think that's going to be one of the best sides of this whole thing. You look at 11 of 12 save opportunities. Rex obviously has been outstanding, but allows you to move him back into his role in the 8th. Because Betancourt to close, he can relieve it with Belisle and go back to the 7th a little bit. And for Juan Nicasio, go back down. Don't get your feelings hurt. Don't pout. And go dominate at Colorado Springs. You'll get your opportunity back here again. And I think, too, there's a lot of things that you don't want to give up on with Juan Nicasio and say, oh, he needs to go to the bullpen. Let's run the course of the starting role first.
And with Betancourt, George, not only get your closer back, but you improve the bullpen really from the beginning to the end, do you not?
Well, there's no question, because now you've got guys back in roles that they belong in. You see the 22 games, earned run average, and I don't really look at an earned run average of a closer that much. It only takes 1 or 2 to get blown up in, but his ability to still throw the ball by people, locate the fastball with a high fastball, he can go down and away, he can change speeds off the fastball. That's what's impressive with us. This guy doesn't walk people. He's going to come in, he's going to pound the strike zone, he's going to get outs, he's going to get them out quickly.
Yeah, the Rockies lost a tough one yesterday, that makeup game against the Mets, trying to get back on track tonight against the world champion San Francisco Giants. We'll come back for the first pitch. Stay with us. Your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. Viking Supers, more value for the way you live. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Warm night again in Denver, but we're getting some clouds, and Jolie's Jacine has not been clouded by his performance lately. The last couple of times out, including the last time he threw, which is Washington, very good. And he'll start with Gregor Blanco. The Giants, like the Rockies, with some injuries. And let's look at those starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Well, the Giants, they have been struggling. They come in 38-40. They're 2 games under 500. Blanco and then Scudero, the former Rocky. Sandoval is back. Posey hitting 3rd. Penspel, Torres, Crawford. Barry Zito is on the mound. And here's the first hitter of the ball game. It's Gregor Blanco. Welcome back to Coors Field, everybody. Rockies looking to get back on track tonight against the Giants. First pitch from Jacine is outside for ball 1.
The reason he was so successful in Washington, a lot of ground ball outs, early outs, 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts.
Julie's looking for his 7th win this year, 6-3 coming in. ERA is solid.
Every part of it right now for him. 2-to-1 walk strikeout ratio. All of that very, very good.
Ball hit right at Michael Kadire, and he'll make the catch.
Which I've seen on the mound, you typically are going to see a couple of different things from him, but the majority is going to be the fastball. 63% of the time. It's averaged 89.8 miles an hour of late. Slider 19% of the time. A changeup is much improved over what it was a year ago, adding the curveball at 78.5%. But it's the fastball and command of the fastball that gets him through baseball games.
He's the one that will tell you that first. Fastball command for him, he says, is everything. There he commands the pitch to get a strike on the former Rocky. Marco Scutaro had that very hot start this year for the Giants, kind of carried over from last year after the Rockies traded him. Cooled off a little bit lately. Here's strike 2. 323, so the number is still solid for Marco Scutaro, and he is a very good 2-strike hitter.
Well, and a good 2-hole hitter. A guy that's going to hit behind runners an awful lot. He can bunt the baseball.
This one he'll pop up to the right side of the infield. Second baseman DJ LeMahieu will make the catch. And today's defense for the Rockies brought to you by XL Energy. We bring the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. So at the leather for the Rockies tonight in the outfield, Fowler's a scratch. Colvin's taken over in center, Gonzalez in left, and Kadire in right. Arenado, Rutledge, LeMahieu, Pacheco across the infield, and then Willeen Rosario with Chacin wheeling behind the plate.
And Dexter was in the original lineup, so again, the hand's still sore enough that he pulled himself out of this lineup, and Colvin getting the opportunity.
Tyler struggling some with the plate lately, but always good in the outfield defensively. 2-0 on Buster Posey. Numbers this year and the numbers against the Rockies. Look at that. 452. Just eats the Rockies up, and they'll line one to left center field for a base hit.
He eats up a lot of people.
Loves hitting against the Rockies and loves hitting against him at Coors Field.
The big key is the fact you're not going to allow him to beat you with men on scoring position. Just pitch around him.
So Posey at first, and Pablo Sandoval will come up now. Folks still filing in Coors Field on this Friday night.
Weekend series typically will draw a lot of Giant fans. They love coming to the Denver area, ballpark, sites around the Denver area. It's a vacation time.
Here's Pablo Sandoval now, back from the disabled list, and let the first pitch out of play for strike 1. Kung Fu Panda, and he was named that by the starting pitcher for his team tonight. Barry Zito put that moniker on him. Sandoval came off the DL on Monday. He's gone 2 for 12 since then. And there's Barry Zito. Fly ball to right. It's deep but playable for Michael Kadire. And the first half inning is over. Jolie's Chacin allowing a hit, but that's it. We'll go to the bottom of the first, no score. Coors Field. It's actually a very pleasant night for baseball. A little on the hot side, but nobody complaining too much in these parts. As DJ LeMahieu will lead off for the Rockies. We mentioned earlier Dexter Fowler is scratched, so LeMahieu is going to lead off. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Rockies. So LeMahieu leading off now for Colorado. Fowler out. Pacheco moves to the second hole. Gonzalez, Cadaya, Rosario. And then Colvin will hit 7th tonight. Rutledge and the pitcher Chacin after that. And Michael Cadaya, of course, will keep our eye on tonight with that big hitting streak going.
And for Barry Zito, who's going to challenge the Rockies, and he's done this in great fashion. This year, 4-5, 440 earned run average, 8-3 in his career versus the Rockies, 2.84 earned run average. But Jerry, we talked about this before the start of the ball game. And you look at his record at home, 4-1, 198 earned run average, yet out on the road it stinks, 0-4 with an earned run average near 12.
Two completely different pitchers, road and home for Barry Zito. I mean, a lot of pitchers pitch better in San Francisco with that big ballpark, but not those kinds of numbers. Look at there. Look at the ERA. That's a big thing. Forget the wins and losses. The ERA skyrocketing on the road.
As we say in Oklahoma, ginormous.
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 ERA on the road. All right. So LeMahieu will lead off. DJ swinging the bat well these days. Hitting 287 overall. And the pitch will be low ball 1 to LeMahieu. Last year, that ginormous contract that he did I say
ginormous.
That? Ginormous contract that he signed, Barry Zito, 7-year, and this is the 7th year of it. DJ will put that one in left field for a base hit. Let's look at the Giants defense, brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choice that fits your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Defensively in the outfield, Torres, Blanco, and Pence. Good speed, good gloves out there. Sandoval, Crawford, the shortstop. Scudero, Brandon Belts at first, and Buster Posey beyond the plate for Barry Zito.
And as a base runner, you have to anticipate breaking ball, particularly when he's ahead in the count. With Zito, he has 5 wild pitches this year.
And he'll toss to first base. DJ in yesterday's game got picked off at first base late in the ball game. Crucial time in that loss to the Mets.
Well, a lot of times you anticipate with a left-hander and try to go on the first move, and there's more times than not you can get hung if it's a pretty good move. Got a conservative lead at first now. You saw his first move back. Let's take a look at what Barry will offer this Rocky lineup today. You see the fastball and slider about equal, but he will utilize the big slow curveball, but not as much here in Denver because of the altitude. Not as comfortable throwing it. You will see the changeup at 74.
Last time out, Zito very good, but that was at home. It's Miami. That pitch is in the dirt. Posey able to block it. 1-1 on Jordan Pacheco. Originally hitting 6th in the Rockies lineup, but with Fowler's scratch, some folks moved around in Walt Weiss's lineup card, and now Jordan hitting 2nd.
Posey with just 3 pass balls this year.
Posey not great at throwing runners out, but very good behind the plate defensively. There's that throw to first again. A good move. He's always had that, Zito has. He's picked a couple of guys off this year.
High leg kick, which freezes the runner. And then he has the ability to come to first or home with that high leg kick once he reaches that balance point over the rubber.
A lot of times he'll look home when he's going to throw to first base and really throw you off. DJ a little quicker than people realize. He's got 9 stolen bases, so Zito understands and needs to keep that guy at first close. LeMahieu's been caught stealing once, and that was in last night's game.
And look at the wide hole here on the right side, too, for Pacheco to shoot it through.
And he'll try to do that, but hit it foul down the right field side. Zito, 2002 Cy Young Award winner when he was pitching for the Oakland A's, 3-time All-Star. He's really, I think, George, done a pretty good job of kind of reinventing himself.
He
to
has.
Be that power pitcher.
Oh, no question. The last couple of years, last year particularly, came back very strong. The year previous had struggled, hunting for new ideas and new ways.
Pitch to Pacheco is blooped down the right field line. This will be a foul ball as well. Hunter Pence couldn't get there. Somebody from the crowd did, though. Nice catch. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Jordan Pacheco. Against a lefty getting the start at first base, and Todd Helton getting the night off, at least as a starter tonight. Nobody out, no score, bottom of the first inning. Good lead for DJ LeMahieu. And the pitch runs inside.
Well, the key is not to allow the Giants to score 4 runs when he's on the mound.
Give me that number.
You like that number?
Yeah.
128 and 8 in his career when his team scores 4 or more. With the Giants, 43 and 4.
That is amazing. Look at that. Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? 4 runs or more for Barry Zito.
If he gets that kind of run support, it can be dangerous.
Again, fouled away. Pacheco and Barry Zito battle continues. Born in Las Vegas, he went to high school, Zito did, in San Diego. Started at UC Santa Barbara, ended up at a junior college, and then after that to USC, where he's an All-American. And the A's drafted him first round. 7 years with the Oakland A's. 35 years of age now. Throw to first. LeMahieu saw that coming.
The interesting thing about Barry, even when he struggled after the huge contract, his work never did.
Yeah.
Continued to work to get back to that form and live up to the contract. He donates a tremendous amount of money in the Bay Area. Very involved in the community. I commend him for what he's done. Stand-up guy.
Another toss to first base by Barry Zito. Founded an organization called Strikeouts for Troops. For every strikeout he gets this year, and there are several major leaguers with him on it, they donate a certain amount of money to folks coming back from overseas, or military personnel and their families. It's a tremendous effort, and a couple $1 million has been raised by that effort. That one bounced foul up the third base side. One thing he said was interesting, George, a couple of years ago when he started to fall off a little more than he had when he first started with the Giants, is, I got humbled by Major League Baseball. He told the media.
And it can happen to him, and it happens to one of the best, Barry Zito. It's happened to many other players in the game.
He was one of the top lefties in all baseball those years with the A's. Pitch here, fouled away again. But Jordan Pacheco's battle with this guy, Barry Zito, continues. It's 2-2.
8 pitches so far for Jordan Pacheco, and he continues to fight off even if they're a little bit out of the strike zone. And that'll pay dividends down the road for Zito. Zito has thrown 117 pitches in a start this year. He's been over 100 8 times this year. Bruce Bochy, knowing this ballpark the way it is, he'd like to get a lot out of his starters, some length.
Checked his swing. That's Bob Davidson over at first, and Jordan didn't go around. 3-2. You mentioned back at the top of this inning, George, Scudero being a great number 2 hitter. This guy's got a number 2 hitter mentality too, Jordan Pacheco, at least so far in this at bat. There goes the runner. This one's popped down the right field line. Pence giving chase again, and he's not going to get there. Ended up in about the same spot as a couple of pitches ago. And we'll set the umpires for you behind the plate. James Hoy, Bob Davidson at first base, Jim Reynolds at second, and John Hirschbeck is the crew chief. He is over at third tonight. Full count on Jordan Pacheco. Nobody out. LeMahieu at first. The pitch, swing and a miss. There goes a runner to second, and safe at second is LeMahieu.
Almost looked as if a delayed steal by LeMahieu. Either that or a traction issue at first. See, he wasn't going particularly hard till after he saw the swing, then had to take off running into second base. And the slide away from Scudero, where the throw from Posey had pulled him off the back to the shortstop side on the Mike Shaw Subaru. See the hand get under. on the Supermo camera and see that hand get under the tag of Scutaro.
I think LeMahieu at the end thinking, I got to slide to the outside, and just put his hand down. 10th stolen base, and again, been caught just one time this year. A lot like Rutledge. He's a little faster than you think he is. All right, man in scoring position now, and Carlos Gonzalez at the plate. 58 RBIs, looking for another one here against Barry Zito. And hits this one, the gap in right center, and that one is going to get to the wall. That will score DJ LeMahieu. Cargo is going to put the brakes on at second base, an RBI double. And sized up very well did Carlos Gonzalez on that swing. 1-0 Rockies.
Didn't wait for it to get behind the count where you typically will see the slider, then you see the slope curve, then you see the changeup. He attacked early. Right there, right out of the hand. Four-seam fastball, trying to take it to the inner half. It ran back over to the middle. But then Gonzalez with this nice load again before driving this baseball. Just got enough topspin on the ball to keep it in the ballpark, but yet 59 RBIs now for Gonzalez. Well, Goldschmidt, Gregg, and Phillips all having great years right along with Gonzalez.
And now at the plate, Michael Kadire with Gonzalez at second. He'll swing and pop this one up foul, and it's out of play. Time for the big hit presented by Mako, the company that repairs all kinds of hits. The big hit came yesterday for Michael Kadire, and here it was against the Mets in his very first at bat. A single to left center field gives him a 24-game hitting streak that sets a new Rockies mark. Ball coming out, Tommy Reynolds grabs it. Michael Kadire's got that hitting streak alive. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. That one of the dirts at Kadire. 1-1 strike. 351 on the year. He's having it. Besides a great hitting streak, he's having a heck of a season. Even from day one, he has been hitting the ball well.
Struggled in his career versus Zito with 17 at bats. Has hit just 176. That amazes me. Very good off-speed hitter.
And that one outside. 2-1 to Kadire. He's just as steady as they go. Doesn't get real high, doesn't get low. He just goes out there and plays. Like Walt Weiss said the other day about Kadire, he just likes to hang around baseball and grow his beard.
Slow motor.
And the pitch in the dirt again. He's staying patient with Barry Zito. 3-1. First base is open. Rosario is on deck. He's hit nearly 400 this year with runners in scoring position. There's Rosario, who's swinging the bat very well these days as well. Trying to make up for the lost time with Tulowitzki and now Dexter Fowler. Dex out again tonight. Pitch to Kadire is hit to left field, but off the end of his bat. Torres is there. Gonzalez will retreat back to second base. 2 outs in the inning. Hey, who wants tacos? Remember, the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Rockies have one of those 7 so far in the ball game. They're trying to add on to it with Willeen Rosario stepping in. He had a good road trip. He's one of the few. He and Kadire really had a very strong road trip for the Rockies. Got the average up to 275 now. He had 2 hits in yesterday's game. A couple of home runs against the Giants this year. And he'll take that pitch in there for a strike. Changeup thrown by Barry Zito. Throw that change in the low 70s. Curveball even slower than that.
He can, and that's basically his makeup of what he's going to do. He's not going to try to throw a fastball by Rosario. If it does, it'll be up in the zone.
That's what he did with Jordan Pacheco to strike him out. Zito checking Cargo, and a ground ball to third base. Sandoval's got this one, and he'll throw to first and get the outs. But the Rockies able to get on the board in the first inning. 1-0 Colorado after 1. Back to Coors Field in a moment. The second, it's a Friday night. It's a fan Friday night. To tell you about it, here's Mark Stout.
All right, Jerry George, yep, out here at the center field set, social media night, hashtag Fan Friday. All you have to do is tweet us at @RootSports_RM, and we'll answer your questions about the game tonight, about the game of baseball, about the Rockies, whatever's on your mind. We'll get the questions up here and on the air and get some answers to you. At @RootSports_RM. Let's go back to the booth, guys.
All right, Mark. Hunter Pence will lead off for the San Francisco Giants here in the top of the second. Joe Leastacine giving up a 2-out single to Posey, but it didn't hurt it back in the first inning. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hunter Pence. A guy who's a real workhorse. He's played every game this year, Hunter Pence has, for the San Francisco Giants. He's a lot of energy. He hits with a lot of energy.
Yeah, just all around. That's what he is. That's what motivates him as a player. I wouldn't want to tell my son, go swing the bat the way Hunter Pence does, but he makes contact because of his great hand-eye coordination to the ball.
Michael Kadire was talking about him the other day, and he said this guy looks like he does everything wrong, but he always gets the job done. He and Pence, good buddies. Here's a pitch to Hunter Pence. It's outside, got away from the backstop. Rosario, 3-1 on the hitter, Hunter Pence. Just seen in his last 2 starts combined, 15 2/3 innings, just 2 runs allowed. Had a warm night tonight that he's pitching. He doesn't mind that at all. He says he likes the hot weather. Chop that one off the plate, and that'll be a foul ball grabbed by Arenado. Full count on Hunter Pence out of Texas Arlington. Older brother Howie was a pitcher in the San Diego minor league system. He said brother Howie taught him how to play baseball. Maybe didn't teach him how to swing or how to throw, but he said he taught me the game. He says he owes his career to his older brother. He's had a very good career, has Hunter Pence. He's had a good season this year, especially. The rare guys that chokes up on a bat these days.
Uses a little longer bat, Jerry, with a big bat. You know, it's got a big barrel. So when you look at it, it's on, and I go back and it's not the right size, but the R161, thick handle, big barrel bat, and try to get the weight of the bat going through the zone and allow the ball to travel farther.
And he'll let that one go. Did he check his swing? He did. Ball 4.
That's speed to contend with. He has a little bit of that. 13 stolen bases. He's yet to be caught, but you know, again, you also have to look at what Willian Rosario has done behind the plate and throwing out would-be base stealers. You have to be, as a pitcher, be aware of the fact it's what your duties are also in keeping it happening. Rosario on the season, 27% would-be base stealers. He's been successful.
The first, Hunter Pence gets back. Brandon Belt is at the plate, the first baseman. So what you've seen for the second time in the game, working from a stretch. There's Brandon Belt. And Pence diving back again. Brandon Belt, University of Texas. A little pop in his bat, a career high 8 home runs already this year.
Climbed through the system very quickly.
Pitch is hit in the air to right field. Playable there for Kadire. Michael will move over to his right a couple of steps. Pence is tagging. Kadire's got a great arm, and Pence is not going to advance from first base.
Well, let's go back and take a look at Chacin when he made his start against the Philadelphia Phillies, the best of the year. 8 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs scored in the 9th. Was the only thing preventing him from having the ability to have a complete game shutout on Coors Field. It took 86 pitches to go out against Philadelphia and pitch that gem. It was all good on that day for Jhoulys Chacin.
Always saying after the game, felt lousy about pulling him, but I had to do it. Just running out of gas. Andres Torres, a left fielder up there now for the Giants. Ball 1 is thrown to him. Couple of homers at .263 average. He's always hit against the Rockies well. And this year, no exception. This is pulled foul down the right field side.
And when you get a left-hander like Torres, it starts to cheat on the fastball a little bit on that inner half, because you can beat him on the inner half, Jerry. So what you try to do, then you off-speed that. You try to go change up, slow curveball. And when you're able to do that, it allows you the ability to maybe not allow him to get the power on that middle half. You just don't go fastball in. That's all. Go away from him with it. Just like that.
Just like that. Second for Wald. LeMahieu on to first. Double play. Fastball on the outside produces the ground ball double play out, and the Rockies will hit coming up at the bottom of the second. 1-0 Colorado. Rockies will hit now with 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Well, where will you find your 3 numbers? Text Pick 3 to 720-720 for your chance to win great prizes from Root Sports and the Colorado Lottery. During tonight's game, we'll randomly pick 1 winner. And don't forget to visit a Colorado Lottery retailer to play Pick 3, the new game from the Colorado Lottery, where 3 lucky numbers are all you need to win. Rookie Nolan Arenado at the plate. 1-0 Rockies, bottom of the second. The pitch in there, strike 1 to Arenado. Rockies with a couple of hits back in the first off of Barry Zito, a single and an RBI double by Carlos Gonzalez. Solid numbers offensively and some fantastic defense for Nolan Arenado in 2013. Curveball missed outside, a ball and a strike. Curveball, that's upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. That one's 69 miles an hour from Barry Zito.
Young hitters are such good fastball hitters. If you think about it, at the minor league level, you're preaching fastball command, rookie ball, A ball, even in high A. And then when you get to double A, you start implementing more off-speed stuff. But I think that's why since hitters come to the big leagues, young hitters have so much success early, because they're tested by the fastball. And then once they prove they can handle the inside fastball, then it's the changeup and the breaking ball comes right behind.
That's exactly what Nolan Arenado has gone through in his rookie year. He was talking about just that the other day. Adjustments have to be made, he says. He hold up, he did not. He went around on a pitch that was a fastball that was up, and now it's a full count. Looked like ball 4 by Barry Zito, but sneaked the fastball in on Arenado and offered at it.
You think you can catch up to it because it's only 84, 85, but when it's elevated in the strike zone, it's very difficult. The ball jumps on you.
Zito's always done a good job of hiding the ball. There's ball 4. Good at bat for Nolan Arenado. So the Rockies had the leadoff man aboard first inning, and he scored, but they got the leadoff man here aboard, and now Tyler Colvin getting the start in center field to be the hitter. Tyler trying to turn things around at the plate. He really struggled in that road trip. He went 0 for 23. Be a good time right now to break out of a slump for Tyler Colvin. He can be a very streaky hitter. And he lines this to center field for a base hit.
What did he do well when he swung the bat last year? Opposite field and with authority. That time does a nice job just staying back on it, not trying to get too fast with it, and doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Opposite field. Ball spinning up to the home plate area, and watch as he gets out here. The hand stayed so quiet and the head stayed on the baseball. No fooled here whatsoever. It's the distribution of the weight and the hands, and it all coordinates together.
He was just 2 for 17 against lefties before that swing. Sees the first pitch from Zito and lines it hard. Runners at first and second, and nobody out for Josh Rutledge. And the pitch, he is inside, ball 1. Stu Cole, the third base coach, has gone through signs. Possibility of a bunt here, but you got the pitcher on deck, so probably not real likely. Although you're seeing pretty good hitting pitcher. Swing on a miss and a pitch in the dirt there by Rutledge. Threw him a changeup and Josh was out in front, and now it's 1-1. Rockies trying to stop a 3-game losing streak, 2 games under 500 for the first time this year. They've been as many as 9 games over 500. And the 1-1 to Rutledge. That one's hit to center field. Coming on is Blanco, and he'll make the catch, tagging from second and running to third is Arenado. He will get there. Started toward third, but had to retreat to second. He still tags up. Colvin had to stay at first. The ball came in as second. So 1 down, but now runners at the corners. And we'll see what Jhoulys Chacín can do now. As I mentioned, not a bad hitting pitcher. He's got 6 hits this year, 6 for 27. Got 2 RBIs. He's got a double this year. You can certainly have him bunt with a runner at first base and 1 at third.
If it was somebody that had terrific stuff, overpowering stuff, mid-90s stuff, you probably bunt. And he'll probably take 1 shot at advancing with LeMahieu in the on-deck circle.
Showing bunt and bunts and foul.
And then after that, let him swing the bat a little bit.
There's DJ on deck, who singled his first time up, and as we mentioned, swinging the bat well.
The Rockies pitching staff daily, under the watchful eye of Jerry Weinstein, take bunting practice. All the starters on their non-start day are out here bunting for about 30 minutes before batting practice starts, and they're doing it off of a machine, and you go, well, the machine knows where it's going. The machine's set on 92. Jerry, longtime college coach, collegiate coach, worked for a long time in a Dodger organization as a farm director, a manager in a Rocky organization.
Slash play on, and he slashed it foul down the right field side.
Corner infielders love that play.
Yeah, don't they?
They come charging, and they got a baseball imprint on the top of their head.
Well, he tried the bunt off of Zito. He tried the slash play off of Zito. Let's see if they're just going to let him swing away, or maybe try to still put the bunt down. Watch Jhoulys in batting practice today. Hit several home runs.
Remember, I mentioned a minute ago, 5 wild pitches for Barry Zito. Arenado needs to get a nice walking lead at third and advance if he can.
Keeps his bat at bat alive. He fouls that one off. 0-2 still on Chacín. Arenado at third and Tyler Colvin at first. He's already leading 1-0, threatening here in the second.
Not surprising, though, if you do, and you put Colvin in motion. The reason I say that, worst case scenario, you got LeMahieu leading off the next inning if he were to be thrown out. If not, And Chacin happens to strike out. Now you got second and third anyway. Colvin, a guy that can run too.
You mentioned too the Giants have had trouble throwing runners out, including Buster Posey, especially Buster Posey. Not going. The pitch is inside. 1-2. We've seen this with Jhoulys Chacin, and we have mentioned this several times. He just seems like every year he's a little bit better at the plate, and he will work a pitcher. If else, he's getting Zito to throw a couple extra pitches here. Tyler Colvin has not attempted a stolen base, but George said he does have very good speed. A little quicker than you think he is. The 1-2 to Chacin, and a ground ball is foul down the left field side. Just foul. John Hirschbeck, the third base umpire, saying that's a foul ball and not by a whole lot.
No, not by a whole lot. This ball looked like it had maybe just caught the outside corner of the third base bag, which give it a fair baseball. But you can see now with that great look you got, one of the robos down in the truck, that you could see that ball was fouled by a good 3 or 4 inches.
This is Brandon Belt, the first baseman, and Zito talking. Zito has thrown 36 pitches already. Just has one out here in the second. Bruce Bochy looking on, trying to get his team going. They have really slumped the last month or so. Pitch to Chacin is swung on and missed. Came back with that high fastball, and there's out number 2. So Zito with his second strikeout. He struck out Pacheco first inning, and now DJ LeMahieu coming up trying to get that runner in. Single for LeMahieu the first time up, average up now to 293. Long look to get a sign for Barry Zito, now has it. The pitch is a ground ball backhanded by the shortstop Crawford. Long throw to first base is just in time to get the outs. Yeah, the Rockies had a threat. They had first and second, nobody out. They couldn't score. We'll go the third inning after this. Sports is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a truck, it's an F-150, and it's built Ford tough. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the Fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood as well. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Coors Field, game 1 of 16 straight against the division for the Rockies. Be a 7-game homestand for Colorado. 1-0 they have the lead. Top of the 3rd inning. Jhoulys Chacín has allowed a base runner each of the first 2, but got the double play ball to end the 2nd inning. They'll face the shortstop now, Brandon Crawford, for the Giants.
And a very good hitter, a guy that you sit back on and you say, because he hits 7th and 8th all the time in their lineup. And then you look up at the board and you go, 280. What's he doing hitting 8? You know, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs, makes all the plays out at shortstop. The majority of the time, a dead pull hitter, too.
Very good with the glove. Brandon Crawford, career high 5 home runs already. 1-0 is in there for a strike. 1-1 on Brandon Crawford. Played baseball collegiately at UCLA. He's a San Francisco Bay Area native. Big Giants fan growing up and now playing for the hometown team. Next pitch is bounced towards short. Charged there by Rutledge. On the run, he'll make the throw to first to get the out. And let's go downstairs and check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
All right, guys, first Fan Friday question of the night. Matt Fay asks, we just saw a shortstop, Crawford, ground to the shortstop, Rutledge. This is a popular question, guys. How's Tulo's rehab going? What's the timetable for his return? Saw him doing a little work today before BP. He was out there kind of just doing a little footwork, a little field work. He was actually doing it with Brody Weiss, Walt Weiss's son, who's a shortstop as well. This is some of the stuff they were doing earlier today. Don't know if you guys have ever busted a rib. I have. It's kind of a strange injury, but what do you think the timetable is? Do you know, George?
Well, I think again, it's all about feel and how quick do your bones heal, and there's so many things and variables that play into that. I know that he hadn't been able to swing a bat yet. He has been able to jog. He's been able to field. He's been able to breathe a little bit better. So things are better than what they were, obviously. No timetable as of right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Barry Zito. So Chacín trying to get his counterpart out for out number 2 in this inning. Zito 4 for 22 at the plate this year. Strike 3 call. Got him at the knees with that fastball. 2 away.
Well, if you want to get on the bicycle and head to the ballpark, you need to do it this Sunday, and you can win a lot of prizes for doing it. Get more information and ticket specials at Rockies.com/green. That's what the Giants in town. Bike to the yard. Are you biking to the yard right now? We will put you on camera when you're acting foolishly.
No, I'm just showing you how to
This
bike.
is TV. We will get you.
I'm just personally showing you how to ride
but
a
you
bike.
hand bike? You do your bike with the hand?
Done that before. Yeah, a few times.
That's hard.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
I'd look for all the hills going down.
Gregor Blanco, the hitter. 2 outs and nobody on for the Giants here in the 3rd. Blanco lined out to right field the first time. And he'll pop this one on foul. It's out of play. George, so far the command control for Chacín, you like?
I like it a lot. He's 2-1 right now to 30 pitches, 20 strikes, 10 balls.
He's been zeroed in his last 3 starts. He's got wins in each of the last 3. 6-3 on the season.
Against the Phillies that day, went into the 9th inning having thrown only 18 balls in 8 innings. Total dominance. 6 of 10 first pitch strikes.
He said after that ball game, for 8 innings, that's the best he'd ever pitched. At 9th inning, he wasn't terribly happy about, but he got the win, and the Rockies are happy for it.
Anytime you shake hands at the end of the day, it's a good day.
Hear you. Blanco gets time at the plate. Career mark with his ERA of 3.72. That's the 2nd lowest in Rockies history for guys with at least 75 starts. Ground ball hit right at DJ LeMahieu on 2 hops. Yeah, 1-2-3 inning for Jhoulys Chacín. Well done again by the Rockies right-hander. Bottom of the 3rd coming up after this. lead. And I mentioned during Toyota Talk tonight, we want to get your thoughts on a very interesting topic, at least in my mind. Which MLB record or records do you think will never be broken? Next Toyota, followed by your thoughts to 720-720, and watch during the 5th inning. It'll be very interesting. I think there's a number of different thoughts and areas of Major League Baseball, the records that we might get to with that tonight. Jordan Pacheco leads off against Barry Zito. Struck out his first time up against the lefty. And a look at strike one.
Yeah, very quickly, I'd like to wish Pete Ritchie a very quick recovery. Doing well after having a stroke 3 days ago. Good friends with Keith Schultz down in the locker room with a lot of other guys within the Rocky organization. And Pete, look to see you at the ballpark soon, buddy.
Hit foul down the left field line. Hit it well, did Pacheco, but out ahead of a cut fastball thrown by Barry Zito. 0-2 on Jordan Pacheco. One homer this year was a grand slam for Jordan Pacheco. 17 RBIs. Work time duty, getting the start at first. Zito's pitch bouncing up there this time. A ball and 2 strikes. Rockies 4-6 against San Francisco this year, but they're 3-1 at home. Colorado just 11-16 against left-handed starters this year. They're much better against the righties. A winning record against right-handed starters. Got Zito a left-handed tonight. There's a ground ball, base hit off the glove of Crawford that rolls out in the shallow left field. So he struck out the first time, but Pacheco comes back with a single, and the Rockies again have their leadoff man aboard. Let's look at today's cold hard fact. Today's cold hard fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Cold hard fact, working for the weekend. Best record on the weekends. This is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Rockies second best in all of baseball. Better than the Yankees, Tampa Bay, Texas. Pittsburgh, we shouldn't be surprised. They're winning a lot of games everywhere they play. But interesting, the Rockies have fared very well on the weekends. And we're a weekend right now, aren't we, George?
We are a weekend. You're absolutely right.
All right, good. Just checking.
Verifying.
RBI double for Carlos the first time up. Pacheco's short lead against his lefty Zito. Pacheco's not one to run very often anyway. And the pitch is outside. Here's that swing by Carlos Gonzalez back in the first inning.
And a good swing it was. He got early after a fastball. The four-seam had elevated in the zone and drove it into right field to drive in his 59th run. As TJ LeMahieu had singled, came around to score.
And a hitter's count now against Zito. It's 2-0. And the pitch is right there for a strike. Came back with a fastball. 2-1 on Carlos Gonzalez. Argo 2 weeks ago, the National League Player of the Week, and then the Rockies hit the road, and he didn't fare all that well. Trying to get back on track tonight. He's got a good start to the game. He's going to pop this one up. Shallow center. Blanco coming on. Crawford's out. Crawford who is going to make the catch. First out of the inning.
Well, the ball club struggled on the road to swing the bat. 229 average.
And now Michael Kadire will stroll up. They go flight out to left field against Barry Zito his first time up. We talk about the 24-game hitting streak, and it is very impressive, obviously, but he's also in the process set another record. He's been on base now 43 straight games. That's a new club record. Quite a run, quite a season for Michael Kadire. One out and a runner at first base. Curveball missing low. Ball 1 to Michael Kadire.
Zito's not getting a lot of swings at breaking balls in the dirt like he typically does. Rocky's doing a good job laying off of that.
Pitch to Kadire, and that one will miss inside as well. 2-0. Time for the Who's Flying High, presented by SkyVenture Colorado Indoor Skydiving.
Have you ever done this?
No.
Oh, you should.
Really? Anyway, flying high, Michael Kadire these days. 390 during that stretch, and you see Dante Bichette record was broken yesterday. He had 23. This one hit well to right field. Going back, Pence, and out of here! Make it 25 for Michael Kadire. What a home run. 3-0 Rockies.
Well, that's one way to keep the hitting streak alive. One of the few times he had gone to the slider / cutter, and it just stayed up out over the plate. Kadire getting a lot of high fives in the dugout, as he should. Bell-tie cutter trying to come in to break the bat. Instead, he broke the back of Barry Zito.
Drives the ball to right field so very well. Base is cleared for Willeen Rosario. Bounced out to third his first time up. And a look at ball one from Barry Zito. Just keeps it rolling. It doesn't matter the game situation. Doesn't matter if it's a first at bat, second at bat, fourth at bat. Michael Kadire is just going up there squaring balls up.
One more look out of the hand of Barry Zito on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo watch, trying to cut the ball into the hands. He cut it to the barrel of the bat, and it was elevated. Kadire, a lot of guys would try to pull that pitch, but you're told with Zito, stay back as long as can and explode on the baseball, and he did it.
Rosario will pop it foul. It's out of play. 2-1.
These are the pretty looks, Jerry.
Yep. He's a strong man to hit a ball to right field like that. As a right-handed hitter, takes a big upper body, and he's got that. This one hit to left field. It could go. It is gone. Back-to-back home runs. Kadire and now Rosario. 4-0.
With elevated sliders, they typically break right into the power of a power hitter's swing. Kadire got one up. They want this down and in. It didn't get in, and it didn't get down. It stayed about belt tie. Rosario cleared the front side. Then the line shot to left.
Torres got back on that ball. It actually hit his seat and came back in. He got back on the ball, but it was a little bit over his head. And Rosario hit that one as hard to left as Kadire is to right. I mean, those were both line shots. One out in the inning, and now Nolan Arenado is at the plate. He's with 4 runs on 6 hits. 2 of them have been long balls, both in the inning, back to back. And this one's hit foul. Good cut put on that one by Arenado. 4th back-to-back Rockies home runs this year. Last time they did it was that big game in Cincinnati with Gonzalez and Tulowitzki. Arenado hit this one to right center field. And this one's going to find the wall. It's booked the defenders. Arenado's going to hold up at second base with a stand-up double. A home run, then a home run, then a double off of Barry Zito for the Rockies.
Now come up with a triple. The Rockies will have a cycle in this inning. Doing such a good job. That ball on the outer half of the plate and down. Arenado always being able to handle the low pitch very well with authority. Drove this into right center.
Another double for Nolan Arenado. He racked up so many of those in the minors. 15th double this year. Keep in mind he's been here about half the time. We'll see what Tyler Colvin could do. He singled off of Barry Zito first time up. We'll let this one go. It's in there for a strike. 178 average. That swing, that single in the second inning, broken 0 for 23 for Tyler. One out, 4-0 Rockies. Outside this time to Colvin. A ball and a strike to Tyler. And we talked about it, and it was the word around the press room today. It was the troubles that Barry Zito's had on the road. George had mentioned it earlier. On the road, 11.28 earned run average coming in, and he's 0 for 4. And that one's a strike to Colvin. A ball and 2 strikes on Tyler. Zito trying to find a way to get out of this inning and slow the Rockies hitters down. 4 hits in the inning, a single, a double, and 2 homers. And a man at second base, 1 out.
He's yet to be able to show consistency with the slider or curveball.
Colvin will bounce that one foul up the first base side.
So as a hitter, you eliminate those. Look just for the ball out over the plate, because fastball command's been an issue tonight for Barry Zito.
Dexter Fowler, we thought, was going to start tonight in center field. In fact, he was on the original lineup, and then he couldn't play. Hand is still sore, and so Colvin gets to start, and Tyler comes through with a base hit. Going to keep it going here in the second. He will get time at the plate. Remember the Giants in town, a lot of orange jerseys and orange clothing around the ballpark, and tonight no exception. But right now they're a little calmer than they were a little while ago. This one popped up in the infield. Second baseman Scudero calling for it right by the second base bag, and he makes a catch.
We're discussing Zito and the inability to throw for strikes off the slider. He's given up those 2 home runs and a double. And out of 14 off-speed pitches, those 2 alone, he's only been able to connect in the strike zone 7 times. So 50% of the time doesn't work when that's your out pitch.
There you see the ERAs in the National League, and Barry Zito in the top 5, and that's not the top 5 you want to be in. They're going to walk Rutledge to pitch to Chacin here with 2 outs. First base is open, and there's Jolice, who struck out the first time, but he battled pretty well with Barry Zito, and again, not a bad hitting pitcher. And it's Bruce Bochy, the manager, going with the odds.
Well, you're already down 3-0. Chacin throwing the ball very well. So as a manager who knows this ballpark as good as anyone, Bruce Bochy is playing the odds that they'll be able to get Jolice Chacin versus Rutledge.
He's trying to find some answers for his team. They've lost 4 straight, 9 of 12. They're just 14 and 25 on the road this year. First time this season 2 games under 500, and since the 24th of May, they have had the worst record in the National League. 19 seasons. Longtime Padres manager, now all kinds of success with the Giants. Defending world champs are 38 and 40. Here's Chacin with 2 on now. And a swing and foul that one back. He took a big rip.
Chest high heater.
I think he'd like to have that pitch back.
He'd like to have a couple of more shots at that one. You're right.
Barry Zito with 27 pitches thrown this inning. 65 for the game. Jolice Chacin could really help himself. He's got 4 RBIs on the year. Check it, 2 RBIs. He'll ground that one right back to Zito. He'll toss over to Belt to get the out, and the inning is over. But the Rockies strike again. They score 3 in this inning and do it with 2 long balls. Michael Kadire starts, hits one to right field, but the Rockies weren't done. Right after that, Willie Rosario to left field. Our AT&T trivia question one more time. We look at Michael Kadire extending that hitting streak. For the moment, the Rockies one of two current teams that have never had a player register a single or season hit streak of 26 or more. Who is the other team? Kadire's working on getting to 26.
Who'd you say earlier today? You said something when we were going over this. Which team did you say?
I thought it was Tampa Bay.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah. Maybe some clouds rolling in here as well. Nothing else.
That's just
cool things down a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be nice as long as it rains away from the ballpark.
When you ride your bike to the game on Sunday, you're going to ride through the rain if it's raining, or
Absolutely.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you just ride right through the rain.
I got those spikes things you wear on bicycles. I got the whole deal.
The spike
Got the
things you
little
wear
pointed
on the
hat,
bicycle.
you know, so the breeze doesn't slow me down.
What are the spike things you wear?
Well, the spikes, you know, in your
shoes.
Yeah, in your
Oh,
shoes.
the bike shoes.
Bike shoes, yeah. Feet don't slip off. Get going real fast downhill, and you can make sparks.
You've done that too, huh?
Yeah, it's been fun too.
So at least you've seen working on Marco Scutaro. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Giants in this inning. We're in the top of the fourth. This one hit to center field right at Tyler Copeland, out number 1.
We'll get your tickets for Faith Day tomorrow. Presented by Grand Canyon University. All fans invited to stay for the post-game concert by Mercy Me. That's all coming up this weekend with the Giants in town. So make sure you get here for tomorrow's ball game with the Giants. Stay afterwards for the post-game concert with by Mercy Me. All courtesy of Grand Canyon University.
Buster Posey next for the Giants. He singled his first time up, and that is this one hit to left field. That is going to drop for a base hit. It is a fair ball. Posey digging for 2. Cargo for the ball. Won't get it to second base in time. And Buster Posey a single and now a double as both the Giants hits.
This is a very good hitter. There's no other way to look at it. I mean, this guy can do a lot of things with the bat. He has power. He has average. Drives in runs. Plays the toughest position in baseball at the catcher. Slider. Trying to take it down in a way more hung out to the plate, but a good pitch by Chacin. I mean, this guy can just hit. He blooped it into left field. You tip your cap and just move forward.
What do you do with that one? And he knew it. He's thinking to himself, that was a good pitch. How'd he do that? And now Sandoval will step in. Runner at first base, 1 out. Sandoval fly to right the first time up. He's a switch hitter.
Old Scout told me one time, he said, those batters, they practice too. And a lot of things go their way at times. You just kind of got to get used to it, whether you want to or not.
That's the beauty of this ball game. You can hit a line drive, square up a ball, hit it right at somebody, or you can hit it off the end of your bat, get fooled by a pitch, and still get a base hit. Just seen from the stretch, and his pitch to Sandoval is high, 2-0. For the Giants, it's game 4 of a 10-game road trip. They're 0-3 so far. They got swept at the Dodgers before they got to Denver. Dodgers the hottest team going right now in the division. Trying to make up some lost ground. Way outside, 3-0. Sandoval, the World Series MVP a year ago when the Giants won it again, won it for the second time in 3 years. The pitch will miss outside, ball 4. I mentioned that the Giants swept at Dodger Stadium by the Dodgers, and you look what happened. They lost all 3 games, outscored 13-8. The Dodgers first 3-game sweep at Dodger Stadium since 2009 of the Giants. And the starters, this is where the problems have come with the Giants, with their starting pitching especially. It is not the same rotation with its effectiveness as we've seen in the last several years. They are vulnerable this year, and Barry Zito tonight is an example of that, especially on the road. So first and second, 1 out. Hunter Pence the hitter. Well, get in there for a strike. He starts Pence out with a slider.
May have gotten one given to him there, and that's okay because he's been around the plate quite a bit.
He walked Pence the first time up for Hunter Pence. And that pitch runs inside, a ball and a strike. The 1-1 to Pence is line foul down the left field side. Not ahead of that changeup, and that's kind of the idea. Get a hitter out in front of a pitch and pull it foul. Now 1-2. Hunter Pence, a former Houston Astro, former Philadelphia Philly. He may have his best first half of any season this year, 2013. He's hitting the ball very well. And the pitch runs inside again. 2-2.
Missing the location, but missing dramatically. Outside corner to the whole inside corner. It was a good job by Rosario to even keep the ball in his glove.
Looks like, George, the ball moving so much you just can't quite control it. I mean, it's not like he's not got good stuff. Good movement.
It's real humid tonight here at the ballpark, which is unusual for Denver. Even though you're at elevation, the humidity creates that. The heavy air creates it.
You love to have movement on your pitches, especially a fastball and a right-handed hitter, but maybe too much for Joe Lease tonight. 2-2 on Pence. Strike 3 call. Threw him a fastball, and Pence took a look. Didn't like the call, but he's out number 2.
Looking for the slider after the conversation, and he got painted with a fastball in a very good location. A lot of hitters do not see the low fastball get called for a strike. But obviously James Hoy, one of those guys calling it for a strike. It was definitely on the plate. Good pitch.
He had enough cut to it that it came back and caught the outside edge. So 2 down, and Brandon Belt applied to right the first time. And a one-hopper grab by LeMahieu. Stands back up and throws out the runner at first. Great play by DJ to save a run. He has been doing that all year long with the glove. DJ LeMahieu on 2 hops, going to his left as he does so very well. Got up, took his time, got out number 3.
Rockies over the Giants. It's another Fan Friday. We're answering your questions here at @RootSports_RM. I'm going to run down a bunch of them right now that we got in. Joe wants to know who holds the longest hitting streak in baseball. That's Joe DiMaggio, 56 games back in 1941. John, how many games back are the Rockies? John, 316. 4 games back. Aiden, what happened to Jamie Moyer? Well, he's a free agent, but he did throw out the first pitch for the Mariners home opener this year, so he's pretty much kind of retired. And a couple more. Wendy Wham Mills. If Kadire walks all game, does that end his streak? It does, Wendy, but fortunately, he has a home run. And Amanda wanted to know about gold gloves at positions, and do they just go to an... It's all 9 positions, AL and NL, 1 player at each position gets it each year. So still taking your tweets at @RootSports_RM. Let's go back to Jerry and George. Guys?
All right, Mark, thank you. Hey,
Man, Mark flew through like 7, 8 of those, like bam, 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 bam.
some learning stuff tonight from Mark Stout. DJ LeMahieu, the leadoff hitter for the Rockies, up there. 2-0 the count on DJ. Singled and scored a run against Barry Zito in the first inning. Grounded out to shortstop last time up. 68 pitches thrown by this lefty. 4-0. His team is trailing. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Rockies. 2 homers. That's in there for strike 2 and 1. So at this point, George, Barry Zito just trying to keep his team in the game and trying to keep the damage to a minimum.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, this is where Bruce Bochy understands this ballpark. You can't let your bullpen get blown up. If you get another 4, turn it into an American League start. Try to give me 6 if you can.
There's Bruce Bochy. Interesting that he's never been the manager of the year with the San Francisco Giants. Chop toward third, charged by Sandoval. He's got the hop he's looking for, and he throws out LeMahieu.
Yeah, for a big man, he's pretty agile coming in and moving left right as the third baseman.
Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC.
First time of the ball game that Zito has retired the leadoff man.
Jordan Pacheco stepping in now for Colorado. Struck out the first time and singled the last time up. Carlos Gonzalez waiting on deck. It's a strike to Jordan Pacheco. Good numbers against Barry Zito. 16 at bats and the 5 home runs, or 5 hits. I'm sorry. That one's hit to right, and there's Hunter Pence moving back. He reaches up and makes the catch. Sailed pretty good, carried pretty good to right, but that's a long out, number 2. Carlos Gonzalez, who drove in the first run of the ball game, will head up for the 3rd time at the plate this evening. An RBI double for him, first inning. 59 RBIs on the year for Cargo. He was saying yesterday before the game, he said, it's time for me to get going again. I had that great week when I was National League Player of the Week. He said I had a very poor week on that road trip, and he said that falls on me. He said I just did not focus like I should have on that road trip, and good to be back home. And he had a great swing to drive in a run first inning.
Slider, now changeup,
and he hits this one down the right field line. That's a base hit. Hunter Pence able to cut that off this time to hold Gonzalez to a single. 2 hits now for Cargo in the game. The Rockies have 8 hits now, and the inning continues. Michael Kadire gets a chance to hit.
And for Zito, everything elevated today. It's been difficult for him to get the ball down, and he's paid the price for it also.
Well, last time up for Kadire, he had Pacheco on base. He's got now Cargo on first base. There it goes. Gonzalez throw to second base. He is not in time. Another stolen base for Carlos Gonzalez.
Number 15 for Gonzalez on the season. Against the left-hander, you've got to make sure he commits, and that's exactly what he did. Once he saw the head and his shoulders turn to the home plate area, he took off. See on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, well ahead of the tag by Scutaro.
Almost a perfect throw by Posey, but it wasn't in time. So man in scoring position now for Kadire. And the stolen base percentage is a good one for Cargo. He's been caught once. As George said, 15 tries, 15 stolen bases, got caught once. And Hunter Pence, an opponent tonight, is the leader.
So Posey goes to the mound and goes, remember, we got a guy, got a slider up, he hit it out to right. So let's, you want to pitch around him a little bit, or what do you think? He said, well, the guy behind him hit a home run too, so what do you think? Let's just go get this guy if we can. Just being a little bit facetious here in that conversation, but you're in that part of the lineup that does a lot of damage, and that's what Michael Kadire did. It was damage to a hanging slider.
Pitch to Kadire, swung on and missed. He got fooled there by the changeup. 1-2. So Kadire with the home run back in the third inning. 25 game hitting streak now. Breaks his own club record. It's the longest streak going in baseball these days. He's reached base in 44 consecutive games now. Ground ball toward the shortstop. Backhanded by Crawford. He'll fire over to first base and get the third out. Rockies again threatened. This time they can't score. We're done with 4 at Coors Field. 4-0 Rockies. Luxury has a new address now open in Greenwood Village. First inning, DJ LeMahieu on base, and Carlos Gonzalez hitting the gapper to right center. That was a double that drove in the first run for Colorado. Third inning, Rockies threatened the second, couldn't score. Michael Kadire with one on, hit deep to right field and gone. 25 straight games he has hit, and then another home run. Willeen Rosario right after Kadire. That one to left field to make it 4-0 Colorado. That's where we stand. 4-0. The Rockies have the lead. Top of the 5th inning now at Coors Field. There's 2 hits allowed so far by Jhoulys Chacín. Both have come with Buster Posey at the plate. He's got now Andres Torres in this inning to start. Pour a strike across to Torres. Torres, a tough guy to double up, but the Rockies were able to do that with him his last at bat. Lifts this one to left field. Very playable for Carlos Gonzalez. So one down, and Brandon Crawford, the shortstop, comes up now for the Giants. Crawford grounded out to short. His counterpart Rutledge made the play the first time. Jhoulys saying after his last start, that game in Washington, that his catchers have done a very good job to get on the same page. Both Torrealba and Rosario this year with him as a pitcher. Tonight it's Rosario. Willeen getting the start beyond the plate. We might very well see Torrealba tomorrow, and then Rosario again on Sunday.
Look at the job they've done as a tandem.
Yeah,
that's the key. You've got an older catcher that's tutoring a young catcher, and not only is it about catching the game, but calling the game. And you can see that Jerry Weinstein right next to Torrealba, as Torrealba watches every pitch, every time of where the ball's hit. LeMahieu, the ball found him again. How about that? Some nice plays by DJ in this game.
That time a one hopper he's able to get, so LeMahieu takes care of Crawford, and now we'll get Barry Zito up there. Talking about Rosario working with pitchers as well. I think just his defensive improvement is something we haven't talked enough about. At least we haven't on the radio, George. This guy much better behind the plate.
Well, a lot better, and he's enjoying doing what he's doing. That's the key to it. He's not worried or fighting it. Quick inning for Chassin, just what the doctor ordered.
Another ground ball out. That's 2 out of 3 in the inning. The Rockies head to the bottom of the 5th, still leading 4-0.
The center field set because it's a Fan Friday, answering your questions at @rootsports_RM. And I answered one incorrectly. But Whamster asked about Kadire. If he walked all game, would his hitting streak end? Well, it wouldn't end because he wouldn't have an official at bat. Because if you had 4 or 5 walks in a game, you'd be 0 for the game, and you just move on to the next one. And he would reach base as well, so we would keep that on base streak alive.
Mark.
I'm wrong, right?
No, but yeah, Mark, who corrected you?
A dude by the name of Anthony on here.
A dude?
Yeah.
A dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew, this guy. Oh, no, not that guy. Another guy. I don't know. Hey, there's a couple of questions on there. Let me find the one where they want to know why they changed the bases out in the game. Here's one. This is Tom said, why did they change out the bases during the game?
Because they want it to look pretty.
Yeah, because it's the major leagues, right? They can.
That's right.
You know, it's not softball where you're just using
I think they changed them out 3 different times during the game.
And they do sell some of them, too, as, you know, game-used memorabilia. Yeah, I was incorrect on that one. Sorry there.
Well, that's, you know what, you're allowed.
He's only human, he says. Willeen Rosario's the hitter. Long home run to left field. The shot that he hit was a home run. 13th home run this year. He hit number 12 in Boston at Fenway Park. Here's a pitch by Zito, and that's down low. There's that long home run. He hit out of the ballpark, not only over the left field wall, the Green Monster, but out of the ballpark. And he told us after the ball game, it landed in the players' parking lot. After the ball game, he was telling us he and his wife had walked around Fenway Park that morning, and he said his wife asked him to hit a home run for her out of the stadium. He did just that. Here's a long fly ball to center, but this one's playable for Blanco. So his wife apparently got an assist for that homer, number 12 on the year. He flies out this time. He's 1 for 3. Well, Barry Zito trying to keep his team in the game, giving up 3 runs third inning after 1 back in the first. He's got the first out of this inning. The Rockies had their leadoff man aboard all 3 innings to start the game, and then didn't last time. It didn't score, and don't have their leadoff man aboard here either. Nolan Arenado has one of the Rockies' 8 hits. He had a double after a walk. Third inning was the double. Second inning was the walk, and that pitch will get in there, strike 1. Doubles now for Nolan Arenado. Led all the minor leagues a couple of years ago in RBIs at 122. Gets this one to right field. That's playable for Hunter Pence. 2 outs.
Well, remember, the fireworks are coming up. That's right. They'll happen on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. July 3rd, though, it'll be the first day, and it's on Wednesday. It's the Dodgers against the Dodgers. It's courtesy of Lockheed Martin. Don't miss out on your tickets today. There's a lot of ways to do it, but the best is just pick up the phone and dial 303-ROCKIES or go Rockies.com/fireworks and get tickets for that first fireworks show on July 3rd.
Tyler Coleman, 2 outs, nobody on. 1 for 2. He popped up last time to second base. Singled the first time up. First pitch he saw from Barry Zito. Rockies announced today that on Sunday, Drew Pomerantz will be the starter against Madison Bumgarner, Game 3 of this series. So the Rockies will have to make a corresponding move to make room on the roster for that lefty. We'll see come Sunday morning who that might be. Sent down Juan Nicasio today and activated Rafael Betancourt. He's out in that Rockies bullpen. There he is right there.
He has a routine about the 5th or 6th. Starts stretching the body, moving around, getting the idea of what's going on here.
Here's a ground ball, base hit into center field off of Tyler Coleman's bat. A big turn for Tyler, but he will hold at first. He's got 2 hits. He breaks the 0 for 23 in a big way tonight. 2 out of 3. So 2 down, man at first base, and Josh Rutledge intentionally walked to get to Chacin in the 3rd inning, and that paid off for the Giants. Chacin was able to ground back to the pitcher. He's 0 for 1, flied out to center field. That ball into the dirt. Good scoop over there by Brandon Belt. Two outs. Colvin takes his lead from first base. Posey set up away, and the pitch to Rutledge is in there for a strike. Mentioned Juan Nicasio sent down to make room today for Betancourt. Here's what the manager had to say about Juan's heading to AAA.
For his development, it's important that he's making starts and you know, maintaining his arm strength. You know, because it's tough to develop starters, and so I think it's more beneficial for him and us if he's down there and making starts.
Makes sense, George?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with him 100%. Go down and work on the slider, work on the changeup. It's difficult at Colorado Springs, a little higher elevation, so you've got to really be able to go down there and pitch, and we'll just see how it goes.
There was talk, and Walt said they discussed it as a staff, talk about Nicasio maybe going to the bullpen here, but the decision made to keep him as a starter and then starting down at AAA. There's the manager. A tough decision, he said. He's a guy that's real fond of Juan Nicasio, aren't we all, after what he's been through?
Well, part of the deal is it's easy to shake their hand when they're walking in the door, to welcome them to the big leagues and back to your ball club and what you expect of them. It's difficult to shake their hand and say, son, go down and do this, this, and this, and you may have an opportunity to come back. So it's a whole different ball game.
Walt said has been for him the most difficult part of managing this year. He said the losses are tough, but telling guys they're sent back down is even tougher. Rutledge swings right through that pitch, and he strikes out. So Barry Zito settling in after that third inning, where they gave up 3 runs. Still 4-0 Rockies. We'll head to the 6th.
Fan Friday, and we got a pretty cool tweet from none other than @ChuckNasty. Let's take a look. Chuck Nasty, check out Rockies Real Time after the post-game show tonight on Root Sports. They're doing a special on the Sky Sox. Tell me what you think. We do indeed go down to Colorado Springs, Sky Sox country, and we follow Charlie Blackmon and the boys around. Just kind of get a daily look at life in AAA baseball. There's Chuck Nasty enjoying a little hot tub action. Also flying some planes with Matt McBride. So that's right after the post-game show tonight. Rockies Real Time here on Root Sports. I know Charlie Blackmon will be watching. Birthday's coming up on Monday, guys.
Looks like a tough life down there in AAA. Yeah. Gregor Blanco leads off. He's the leadoff hitter tonight for the Giants. He's 0 for 2. 4-0 Rockies in the top of the 6th inning. Just a couple of hits off of Jhoulys Chacin so far. Posey single and a Posey double will come up in this inning. And this one's pop foul. The count is 0-2. Charlie Blackmon reminding me a little bit, just with his personality, of Ryan Spielberg's.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, has fun. Yeah, you bet. Has a little bit of fun.
Yep.
While he's around the ballpark, enjoys what he does.
Both outfielders. The pitch is high and outside. A ball and 2 strikes. We were talking earlier with Toyota Talk about records that will never be broken. We always hear about DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. This was a broken bat, little sinker over the third baseman Arenado. 1 out. Bobby Cox has 143 ejections. That one might not be broken either.
Well, Vandermeer back-to-back no-hitters. I just don't think it'll ever be broken. I don't think that, obviously, Cy Young's win totals will not be broken as a pitcher.
Ripken's consecutive game streak, that's one that's just mind-boggling. Right. Here's one you don't hear about. Well, there it is right there. Cy Young, 511 wins. How will that ever be broken?
749 complete games.
Scudero showing bunt, and it's called a strike. Talked to Tulowitzki about Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak the other day, and he said, I marvel at it. That was the word he used. Fly ball to center from Scudero was out number 2.
Well, the position he played, too.
Yeah. Tulo made an interesting point about that, too. He said he thinks that if his father would not have been his manager, that streak would not have happened. Old school guy, Cal Ripken, hey, you go out there and you play every day. And that's what Son did, and he played for all those years.
A lot of people with Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak being one that will never be broken. Mo in Littleton says that.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Mo.
511 wins by Cy Young Award. Yeah, out of sight might be the accurate description of those wins. Here's Buster Posey, who has both of the hits for the Giants tonight. Singled first inning, doubled fourth inning. He just looped one down the left field line for that double.
Similar to the job he did against Philadelphia at home, Chacín's only has 61 pitches and 42 of those strikes here in the 6th inning of the ball game. Outstanding.
And he's facing Posey with 2 outs and nobody on. And the pitch, a breaking ball. He didn't go for it. 1-2.
But where they wanted it. Rosario with the fist pump back at Chacín.
How about a 6-pitch inning last inning in the 5th? Working on something similar here. This one line right at the second baseman. Soft liner caught by LeMahieu. 1-2-3 inning for Jhoulys Chacín. And number 45 is rolling along. 4-0 still Rockies. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Dodge.com or your local Dodge dealer today. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Nice night, cooling off nicely. We got some cloud cover here at Coors Field. 4-0. The home team has the lead. And the story of the game, Jhoulys Chacín allowing just the 2 hits so far. And he's going to lead off for the Rockies in this inning against Barry Zito. Rockies a couple home runs back-to-back. Kadaya Rosario a 3rd inning. 3-run 3rd and a 1-run 1st inning for the Rockies. Chacín has struck out and grounded back to Zito in his first 2 at-bats against the southpaw. The first pitch is a strike call. .92 pitches thrown now. Here's number 93 for Zito. And there is some action out in the bullpen now for San Francisco.
Well, and what Zito's done is he turned it into that American League game just like we talked about. And then, you know, I'll try to get into the game as far as I can.
This one hit to right field. Hunter Pence is retreating a couple of steps. He'll get there to make the catch. I'm going to say, since that 3rd inning, this guy, Barry Zito, has settled in very nicely. He's been nice. He's been
a really good job.
Very good job by Zito. And that's, isn't it, where experience comes in, George?
Sure.
I mean,
you know what?
That situation.
I made a couple of bad pitches. It cost me the long ball. Other than that, he's given up 9 hits in the ball game. But it's been most of those hits came in the first 3 innings. 6 of the 9 came in the first 3 innings.
Just didn't let the ball game get away for his team.
Slowed the game down.
There's a ground ball fair down the left field side from DJ LeMahieu. He's digging for 2. Ball up with Torres and into second base. Stand-up double to start the inning for DJ LeMahieu. 8th double this year for LeMahieu, and that's going to be it for Barry Zito. Bruce Bochy coming to the mound. He's going to make the pitching change.
Well, you can understand why. You're getting into the very dangerous part of this, and a lot of respect for Pacheco, who's coming up next with a runner in scoring position. Slid that ball right by Sandoval. Not hit particularly hard, but hard enough and placed perfectly. So Zito will take the rest of the night off after giving up 4 runs on 10 hits.
We'll tell you about the new pitcher right after this. The pitching change brought to you by Chrysler, imported from Detroit. It is right-hander Jake Dunning.
This right-hander comes in. He had been scored on 6 out of the 7 outings he's been out there. He's got a hold this start of the season. Made his debut in Atlanta on June the 16th, and in Fresno pitched very well. He earned this promotion. 23 ball games, 175 earned run average, and 36 innings. He struck out 31. Good fastball, hard slider mix. There's a lot of relievers coming out of the bullpen, and Dunning one of those guys to do that.
Going to be asked by his manager to do what Zito was able to keep his team in the game without his great stuff, especially Zito. Settled in the last couple of innings, and it's still a 4-0 lead for the Rockies. So man at second base, 1 down. That's LeMahieu. EJ with his second hit, and now Jordan Pacheco looking for his second hit. Singled back in the 3rd inning. Jordan has scored a run tonight. Jake Dunning will bluff toward second base, get LeMahieu back there.
Young man out of Forest Stewart, Georgia, was drafted in the 33rd round by the Giants out of junior college, or out of Indiana, excuse me, after attending junior college.
Pacheco puts a bunt down, but that'll roll foul, and Sandoval grabs it in foul ground. Not a bad idea. Pacheco will have to go back to the plate and back to second. LeMahieu. This guy overcome the odds. Not too many 33rd round draft picks you see these days in Major League Baseball.
Not at all. You're right. I'm confused as I read his bio. It said transferred to Indiana from junior college and batted .308 at Indiana with 5 home runs and 45 RBIs. Helped Indiana capture its 2nd Big Ten tournament championship. Was named all tournament team as a shortstop. Signed and went all the way from Arizona Giants, rookie league team. In 4 quick years, here he is. Started the year in AAA, now he's in the big leagues.
This one hit to left field. Coming on is Torres. Got to play the ball on the bounce. LeMahieu will stop at third base. Put the brakes on there, and that's a base hit for Jordan Pacheco. He's got a couple of hits, and the Rockies have first and third.
Typically a guy that keeps the ball on the ground, which means he's in the lower half of the zone. This ball was up. A spinning slider off the bat of Pacheco dumped into the outfield for a base hit. Good read by LeMahieu and a good decision by Stu Cole at third to hold everybody up.
Yeah, DJ just not quite able to read that to see if it was going to fall or not. And now Carlos Gonzalez coming up there. He's got 2 hits tonight. LeMahieu's at third, Pacheco over at first. Cargo hit that one up the middle. That could be 2. Second for 1, and on to first base. It's a double play. Well, the Rockies threaten again in the 6th inning. They can't put a run across. So we'll go on to the 7th with the Rockies still up 4-0. For nothing, we get going here in the top of the 7th inning. A thank you to all of you who texted in your thoughts tonight to Toyota Talk, on which Major League Baseball record will never be broken, or which records we probably should say. This is the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com today, and you'll get Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby to give it his thoughts before the end of the ball game. Always interesting to talk to the Cowboy and get his thoughts. There he is. There's the Cowboy.
That's him. This be him right here. What give it away to you? I think it was the hat. What do you think?
I thought the Cowboy was the guy on the right with the
Wyoming thing.
Yeah. Pablo Sandoval swings and fouls a pitch back. Sandoval has walked and flied out. Coming off a DL this week. He came back off it on Monday at a sprained foot. Second DL stint this year for him. Swing and miss at that fastball on the outside. 0-2. Chacina's retired 8 straight. Pitch to Sandoval is fouled out of play. 0-2 still to count on Sandoval. It was a very interesting story. He was a natural left-handed thrower as a kid. He decided he wanted to be a catcher. Realized that catchers didn't throw left-handed, so he started throwing right-handed at age 8. And now he's got a great arm. And it's not his natural arm. He now throws right-handed and switch hits. He used to hit right-handed, used to throw left-handed. Then he switch hits and throws right. Think about making yourself into a certain player. He has done that. Oh, 2 pitch to Sandoval. Again, he fouls it away. His 68 pitches thrown on this beautiful night by Jhoulys Chacin. It has cooled off. It's very nice here. I mean, there's some dark clouds off to the north, but
pretty clouds.
Yeah, they are.
You a storm guy? I love storms.
I love storms.
Sammy, give the fans at home a shot of that beautiful cloud right over center field.
Yeah.
See how pretty that is?
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Gorgeous.
And it looks as good on TV as it does in person here. It is a beautiful night. There's no question about it. We get a lot of these kinds of sunsets here. This is one of the better ones we've seen. Look out over the mountains. Another 0-2 pitch. Didn't offer it that one. Sandoval stayed away from that fastball, so it's 1-2.
He'll chase a lot of pitches out of the zone, but typically off speed stuff. He doesn't chase the fastball very often. Oh, pretty. So what can you make out of that cloud? A barking dog? A dinosaur? A poodle? What do you got?
There's a swing and a miss.
After showing him a number of fastballs away, he got Sandoval with a riding fastball in the upper half of the strike zone. They're trying to go down here, but it worked efficiently above the hand. See, trying to get his hands so tight to the baseball to get on top of it. This guy can hit. He wasn't getting on top of that.
Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by LeMahieu off the bat of Pence. Out at first base, Pacheco found the bag with his foot.
How about LeMahieu tonight, man? He's playing Gold Glove second base. It's been fun to watch.
Not terribly flashy. He'll throw that flashy play every once in a while. And Jordan Pacheco doing a good job at the other end of that one for LeMahieu to find the bag. He came off it originally, then found it with that left foot. Yeah, 2 errors this season for DJ. Walt Weiss is talking about him and his defense before the game. He said that's as steady as they come for young players defensively. So 10 in a row set down now by Chacin. This one slashed to left, and that's going to drop in front of Carlos Gonzalez. He'll try for 2. The throw from Cargo is not in time, and Belt's got himself a double. Cargo, I think, tried to barehand that ball just to make it quicker and dropped it.
When the ball's going to hit from a left-hander, it's going to slice away from you as a left fielder. So as it's running away from it, you've got to kind of circle the ball and make sure you get it, or stop when you grab it with your bare hand. And you're right, he bobbled, but then to get that back foot under you before you attempt that strong throw in. If you try to throw off balance, typically the ball's not going to get halfway there.
That'll get Andres Torres up to the plate, and you'll look at a strike from Chacin. So the base hit there by Belt ends a string of 10 consecutive retired by Chacin. And a little bit low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Have auto glass damage? We'll call Safe Light Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts. 303-287-5000 or go online, safelight.com for information. Two outs, runner at second, 1-1 the count on Torres. Swing and a miss. Good movement on a slider to Torres there. 1-2.
The difference for me with Jhoulys Chacin now and then what it was previously is Chacin has that extra giddy up, that extra bit in the tank when he needs to go get it. 77th pitch coming.
And it's in the dirt, number 77, 2-2. Well, look at all the strikes thrown tonight by Jhoulys Chacin. He has walked a couple, but that's been a while. That last one was in the 4th inning. Now they get the final out here in the 7th. The 2-2 pitch, high and tight. Now full count. Brandon Crawford is on deck. Giants offense is actually better than it was a year ago at this point. The pitching has been the area of concern for the Giants. That's let them down. Offense actually tied for 5th in runs scored in the National League. The Giants. Ball 4 to Torres.
Many times in a ball game early in his career, and honestly early of this year, that you would look now in the 7th inning with a 4-0 shutout, a hit and a walk, and you would see action in the Rockies bullpen. No action as of now. Jimmy Wright's the only action out to the mound. Hey, get to the ballpark early this Sunday. That's right. First 20,000 fans. Oh, you receive Larry Walker bobblehead. Can't wait. How about you, Jerry? Courtesy of Coca-Cola. So get your tickets for that bobblehead with you, Larry Walker. 303 Rockies. Rockies.com/bobble for tickets for Larry Walker bobblehead day here at the ballpark.
You have any connections I can get a bobblehead that day? I got shut out last time.
100. $100. Larry Walker will be here. He will be in the booth on Sunday. Got a little conversation.
What a talented hitter, baseball player, Larry Walker.
Talented guy. Good golfer now. Plays with Andres every now and then. Colorado. There's a group of ex-ball players living, retired guys living down in Florida.
First and second, 2 out. Crawford is grounded out twice tonight against Chacin. And that pitch is off the plate. 1-1 to the shortstop.
For those of you that have been to fantasy camp in Tucson, Larry came back for fantasy camp a couple of years ago. If you want to know if he's in shape, he hit it over the palm tree in right center.
Did he really?
Yeah. The campers versus coaches games, it's fun because we have Bichette and Walker.
Well, you get them.
And Vinny Castillo.
Oh, nice. Now back by Crawford, 1-2. Get Walt down there. It's your shortstop.
Yeah, Walt's been down a few times. This winter he had a few more things on the plate that he could show up and play with us for a small bit of time.
You know, the crowd trying to help out Jolies Chacin get this final out in the 7th. He's kept the pitch count down. It's at 82. 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to short, playable there for Rutledge. He'll fire to first and get the out. And Chacin does just that. Jolies has been terrific again tonight. 7th inning stretch at Coors Field. By McDonald's. Get now coffee, sausage, McMuffin, or hash browns for only $1 each on the dollar menu at breakfast. McDonald's. I'm loving it. 3rd inning, the Rockies are loving it. Michael Kadire with a home run to right field. He's now hit safely in 25 straight ball games, a new Rockies record. Man right after him, Molin Rosario, home run to left field. Back-to-back homers. One was a 2-run shot. That one was a solo shot. And then Jolies Chacin mowed him down tonight. He has allowed just 3 hits and 4 strikeouts in the ball game. Got Sandoval there, and he's got the shutout going here into the bottom of the 7th inning. Kadire's up again. Michael let that pitch go, and it's strike 1. Dunning still out there on the mound on a beautiful night. Just a scenery here. The skies are unbelievable with the colors this evening. Kadire hits this one to right field, coming on Pence. He dives and he makes a catch. He hit that one right on the nose to right field, but Pence with a fine play, 1 down.
When you make the break on a ball as an outfielder on a sinking line drive, you've got to make that decision. I dive, or do I back away from it and let it bounce and then try to hold him to a single? He made the decision to dive, and it was a smart decision and a good play.
Well, just hung up long enough for Pence to get there. Probably an underrated outfielder. Got a little better arm than people think he does as well. Hunter Pence, a fine catch there. Now here's Kadyr's tag team partner. Orlin Rosario hit the home run after Kadyr did in the third inning. He is 1 for 3. It was home run number 13. 40 RBIs now for Rosario. Dunning with his pitch, swing and a miss on a slider.
You mentioned the RBIs by Rosario with 40. The combination of 49 between the two catchers. One's hitting 292, one's hitting 275 coming into the game, and with that base hit and a couple of outs, it stayed at 275 so far, but a very good tandem of catching.
Yeah, Walt Weiss is stressing that the other day too, saying the hitting that Torey Alba's given has been a real surprise this year. Jake Dunning on for Barry Zito. Another slider that missed. 2-2. Rockies will throw a lefty tomorrow at Matt Cain. Jorge De La Rosa gets the start for the Rockies against Cain. That's tomorrow afternoon. And on Sunday, Drew Pomerantz will make his season debut. Another lefty for the Rockies against Madison Bumgarner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Good pitch by Dunning there. He's got 2 quick outs. And let's go back and look at our AT&T trivia question one more time and get the answer in this inning. Rockies, one of 2 current teams, never had a player to have a hitting streak of 26 or more games. Who was the other team, George?
You mentioned Tampa, so I'm going with you.
I think I'd heard that.
How you knew the answer?
No, I actually didn't, because I read that when Tampa was in town last time.
Ah, good memory.
Jason Bartlett doesn't even play for him anymore. 2009's with 19 is the longest for the Tampa Bay Rays. Nolan Arenado with the double in 3 trips. He got a walk as well. He'll pull this one foul, so he's officially 1 for 2 today.
These two should have matched up a couple of years ago in the Cal League when Dunning was pitching for the High A affiliate of the San Francisco Giants, and Arenado with Modesto. San Jose, their High A.
That one slapped to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Will roll to the wall. Another double for Nolan Arenado. He's got 2 of those tonight and 16 on the year.
Yeah, double machine, lines and gaps. That's pretty much what he can do, and then leave the yard occasionally. A very good gap hitter, just a very good hitter. Going to get out in front. Going to have that hard slider appear to be backed up. Arenado stayed right on it. Very hittable pitch and made it pay for it. That was shot down the left field line.
Talk about a guy who keeps his head down. Threw a pitch right there. Nolan Arenado. He stands at second base. 2 outs in the inning. The Rockies love to get an insurance run here. Tyler Colvin's up there. And they're going to walk Colvin with Rutledge on deck.
Well, even though Colvin has been in a slump, he's gotten a couple of hits tonight, singles, 2 of those, so playing the odds as they did earlier when they intentionally walked Rutledge back in the third. They'll walk Colvin and go right on right with Rutledge.
Josh Rutledge in the ball game is 0 for 2. George said he was walked earlier. The Rockies will get 2 out. They'll have 2 outs with runners at first and second. And there's ball 4 to Tyler Colvin. Register now for your chance to win tickets to Jason Aldean with special guest Jay Go on July 26th, Cheyenne Frontier Days. You can also be entered to win baseball packages plus the VIP grand prize. Official rules and to enter, visit cfdrodeo.com/Jason Aldean. Jake Dunning trying to get this third out in the 7th inning. The Rockies threatened last inning, couldn't score, and a base runner 5th inning couldn't score. Same way in the 4th after their 3-run 3rd inning. Looking for an insurance run or 2. Rutledge is up there. Him going 0 for 2. Pitch by Dunning. He's a called strike one. Rockies 6 extra base hits tonight. Two for 11 on the evening, and with runners in scoring position. Rockies have that opportunity here with Rutledge. Posey set up outside. The pitch missed outside. Dunning has his sign for Posey. Pitch to Rutledge. He is slapped down the right field side. It's out of play.
Don't try to do too much. Just keep your bat, your head still. Try to drive the baseball versus trying to drive in 3 runs, including yourself. Just solid contact scores a run.
There is action in the Rockies bullpen. Rex Brothers is throwing. The guess is, and it's only a guess, that Chacin comes back out, but Brothers be ready just in case something comes up.
Well, they'll go to their bench to lead off the 8th. And then you have Blanco, Scudero, and Posey.
2-2 on Rutledge. Arenado at second, Colvin at first. And the pitch to Rutledge, and he hit that foul in the backstop. Tried to time up a slider that time and got a piece of the Dunning slider and keeps his at bat going. Sky's darkening. We're seeing some lightning off to the north as well. We're not expected to get rain tonight. At least not before this ball game is over. We'll keep our fingers crossed that way. Another 2-2 pitch to Rutledge. It's hit down the right field line. Pence giving chase. Near the line. Pence will make the catch, and that's the 3rd out. The Rockies again threaten. Can't put a run across. 7 complete. 4-0 Colorado.
Start a 3-game series at Coors Field. Hey, thanks for all your tweets. Another Fan Friday. We're going to end with this one, and it's for George, because the question coming from Adam is, how's Parker Frazier doing in AAA Colorado Springs?
Well, so not very well. He stunk it up pretty good of late. Unfortunately for him, he's having a difficult time adjusting to altitude. He's had some good outings, bad outings. Last night he went 3 innings, gave up a couple of runs, didn't figure into the decision. And it's been difficult transition because he was working relief, to be honest with you, in Tulsa. And here he's had to make some emergency starts because of injuries at the AAA level. So kind of taken out of the routine. But starting to figure some things out, starting to get his slider back a little bit. I was proud of him last night in the outing against Tucson.
Tony Abreu is a pinch hitter here for San Francisco, hitting .294 on the year, has no homers and 2 RBIs. Left-handed hitter for Chacin, bouncing ball right to Jordan Pacheco. Will erase the bag and get Abreu without number 1. And time now for the Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. DJ LeMahieu with the glove tonight has been spectacular. How about that play? Diving to his left, glove side, and throwing out Belt at first base. He wasn't done. DJ has been doing this all year, just 2 errors all year long, and some flash as well with that leather. It's our Coors Light Freeze Can. DJ LeMahieu playing a fine second base, swinging the bat pretty well these days as well. That's a steady player right there. One down. Gregor Blanco is up there. He's looking for his first hit. 0 for 3. That one got in there for a strike. Just 3 hits given up tonight by Chacin. Brandon Belt had a double, and Buster Posey a single and a double. The pitch. That one hit on one hop to Rutledge.
Hit hard and a nice play by Josh. Hey, time's running out to vote for the 2013 All-Star Game. Help send your Rockies to New York by voting up to 35 times at Rockies.com or on your mobile iPhone or any phone. Hurry. Voting ends on Thursday, July 4th at 9:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So get out and vote for your Rocky right now. Carlos Gonzalez trailing. Michael Kadire not in the top 10. Time to get busy, folks. He's having a great year.
Marco Scudero with 2 outs and nobody on. You're the outfielder leaders National League voting. Carlos Beltran is having a great year again. Upton and Harper's there. Gonzalez and Ryan Braun. They always vote a bunch in Milwaukee for those Brewers, and Braun is in the top 5. Marco's got a ways to go, but certainly obtainable if there's a push at the end. Scudero lets that go 2-1. Now, George, I got one more record that I think is going to be broken in Major League
Which
Baseball.
one's that?
54 steals of home by Ty Cobb.
What?
Yep.
I've never heard that one before. You sure you're not making that up?
He has stolen home 54 times.
Wow. See, come to the yard, you learn something new every day.
Heck yeah.
You won that on a trivia bet somewhere, didn't you?
2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to second. There's LeMahieu. It's a 1-2-3-8 for Jhoulys Chacin. He's got a shot at the shutout thanks to some pretty darn good defense. Nothing, bottom of the 8th inning. Time now for our What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. And we'll look ahead to tomorrow's game 2 of the series against the Giants. The starters, veterans, the right-hander Matt Cain on the San Francisco side, and Jorge De La Rosa, who's been throwing the ball very well for the Rockies, gets to start. So a good matchup. A couple of veterans at each other tomorrow in game 2 of the series. An afternoon game again tomorrow, 2:10 local start. Tony Abreu staying in the ball game for San Francisco. We saw him pinch hit. He's the second baseman now, so Marco Scudero's night is over. And a new pitcher as well, and a right-hander taking over here, George Cantos. George Frazier.
How about it? 552 earned run average, a fairly high whip at this point. 31 innings and a 2-1 record overall. He has been around in the big leagues a little bit, worked for this ball club more than once at the big league levels. Was called from AAA on Monday. He's optioned out June 12th. Currently appealing a suspension, so he's eligible to play.
Well, that's it for Jolys Jacine. Not going to come out in the 9th inning. We got a pinch hitter for him, and he'll get the hugs and the high fives in the dugout. He is done. He throws 8 shutout innings against San Francisco. Corey Dickerson is going to pinch hit for him. 3 hits allowed in the shutout, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Here's a lefty, the rookie Corey Dickerson. Ball 1. Dickerson 3 for 10. All 3 of those hits have been doubles this year for Corey. His first 2 hits as a major leaguer were doubles in a game in Washington, his first start. We'll foul that one straight back.
Very talented hitter. Not particularly a long ball type hitter, but a guy that can really wear out the gaps. You want him at the plate with men on base. I mean, he's one of these guys that makes solid contact. Played center field yesterday for the first time in a long time. Predominantly played left field in the minor leagues and had been playing right field at Colorado Springs sparingly. And then yesterday getting the start in center.
Played well in center field yesterday against the Mets. A couple of fine catches. He's got very quick hands. Bat speed is unbelievable. You watch him in batting practice, and he has got as quick a hands as you might find for a young player. He was tearing it up at AAA Colorado Springs. He was hitting .386. A swing and miss at that slider thrown by Cantos, and out number 1. Now, who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text messages and their alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies taco special, text keyword taco. Taco is 720-720. Message and data rates may apply when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Taco Bell and Root Sports together will donate $250, I'm sorry, to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. DJ LeMahieu's had a good night. A couple of hits and some fine defensive work. He scored a run tonight. He has singled and doubled, 2 for 4. He has stolen a base as well. Veteran George Cantos. And that one's chopped right to the third baseman, Sandoval. 2 gone. Folks, if you have auto glass damage, call Safe Light Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts. 303-287-5000, or check them out online, safelight.com. 2 outs, nobody on. Jordan Pacheco against Cantos. Jordan with a couple of hits tonight as well. 2 singles for Jordan. He has scored a run. Average up to 255 now for the right-handed hitter. Two teams tonight, the Rockies and Giants, both 2 games under 500. Both there 2 games under 500 for the first time this year. Swing and a miss. There's that good hard slider that Cantos has thrown for so long.
And you've got to remember and think of that, a year ago the club was 13 and a half games out of first.
Yep.
So be happy.
Yep.
This division's very winnable by this ball club.
Yep. That one is foul tipped. 1-2 on Pacheco. Big stretch of games. The Rockies got this homestand against the division. They hit the road against the division. 16 straight against teams from the same division as the Rockies. That one is bounced off the glove of the pitcher. Tough play, and nobody's going to make it. Third hit today for Jordan Pacheco.
Hustle hit by Pacheco. A lot of times when you see the ball hit right back to the pitcher, you stop in your tracks. You think you're out. When you see that ball ricochet away, good hustle hit by Pacheco. And because of this, now you got Gonzalez at the plate right on left, and it could be dangerous. One swing, and all of a sudden you expand this to 6-0.
Yeah, Rockies wouldn't mind that at all. Pacheco at first base with his third single tonight. Contos has 2 outs. As George says, now facing Carlos Gonzalez. Drove in his 59th run of the season back in the first inning. Double and a single tonight. Outside, ball 1. Average back to 300 for Gonzalez, right there at 300 now with the single he had back in the fourth. 2-0. Got a right-handed hitter on deck. It's a cleanup man, Michael Kadire. So far, 2 fastballs, both away to Gonzalez. Pacheco very short lead at first base. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. With the slider on 2-0 to Cargo.
Not surprising. You got right-handed hitter, even though it's Kadire who's been extremely hot. I just think probably a little more comfortable going against him than he would be this. That's why he goes to that type of breaking ball on Gonzalez.
That one drops in there. That one a slider again that reached the strike zone by dropping in on Cargo. Now 2-2. In this stretch of games against the division, the Rockies have fared well against the division this year. 21-15. Really against the National League they've been fine. 37-29 against National League clubs. It's the interleague play that's hurt them. 3-12 against the American League. 2-2 pitch to Cargo. Bounces that one foul, first base side. Big crowd on hand tonight. The Rockies expect a big crowd tomorrow afternoon with that afternoon game. Good weather expected. Faith Day tomorrow. Sunday afternoon, game 3 of the series. The pitch to Gonzalez. All 3. Full count. Jordan Pacheco will be off and running now from first base. Belt, the first baseman, will step and play behind Pacheco.
And it's not the ballpark you want to do it in because of the big gaps. You put a runner in motion, you get a ball in the gap, there's a pretty good chance he's going to score. And with the huge hole right now, I mean, you can see where their outfield's playing. Anything where in that left center gap, you can run for a while.
Way outside. Yep, ball 4. Now gives Kadire a chance to hit again tonight. He's 1 for 4, but that one was a big one. It was a 2-run home run, 3rd inning. Let's revisit the 3rd inning with Michael Kadire.
Slider that stayed up in the zone above the belt. Just drove it to right center out over the auxiliary scoreboard. 3 rows deep, a souvenir and a happy one to put the Rockies on top 4-0.
Last time up, Kadire hit a ball right on the nose, but right at Hunter Pence, the right fielder. He's hit safely in 25 games. He has now gotten on base in 44 consecutive games. Both club records. Pitch is high, ball one. Zito started. Dunning came in after that. Now Contos, the right-hander, in this 8th inning. That's a strike, 1-1 to Michael Kadire.
Well, Rex been throwing since the 8th inning. Started the 8th inning. He'll be ready to assume the 9th.
Rex saying today before the game, absolutely no problem with Betancourt coming back and being that closer. Said he enjoyed closing, but do whatever it takes to help the team. He'll be a 9th inning guy tonight, looks like. The pitch. This ball missed outside. 2-1 to Kadire. There's the activation. The man activated today was Rafael Betancourt. Juan Nicasio sent down to AAA, so Betancourt available in that bullpen if needed. Hit down the right field side. Pence may have a play here.
Only because the wind switching, he missed it. He got to the wall earlier and made a very good catch. This one he doesn't get.
Might have been looking down to try to find that sidewall right at the end.
Well, no question. He's coming over to get to this baseball. And it just hit off the edge of the glove. As you can see, reaching out, starting to slow down, take his steps, the one glance over. And then just lost sight of the ball, overran it. The wind right now blowing out to left center.
Yeah, it is.
So
really,
it blew the ball back in the ballpark.
It has really picked up the last 15-20 minutes. That's going to be an error charge to Hunter Pence.
As it should be. His 4th of the year.
2-2 pitch is popped up on the right side. Could be playable for Posey. It's not. Touches the top of the Rockies dugout. You mentioned the previous at bat with George Cargo, that gap in left center. It's the same way with Kadire here. Well, there's a huge gap in left center field.
Pitch him away, play away, and if the ball's in the air, he'll go to right center more than he'll pull the baseball. So just don't pitch away to it. Hang a slider on that inner half with reduced velocity and allow him to pull it. That's the key. If you're pitching against him right now. Hitters will tell you, they'll watch the center fielder. It'll tell you how they're going to pitch you.
Posey set up away. The pitch to Kadire swung on and missed in strike 3. Threw him that slider. And the Rockies again threatened but can't score. Haven't scored since that 3rd inning. Rex Brother is going to come on. The Rockies leading 4-0 heading to the 9th. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Colorado Lottery. Don't forget to play. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram. Rockies leading 4-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Shutout in the making, perhaps, for the Rockies. Well, she's the driving force behind the Toyota postgame report. Let's check in with Jenny Cavnar.
Hey, thanks so much, Jerry. We got the whole gang coming back. Cowboy and Jeff Houston will join me, and we're going to be talking lots of hot topics. Stick with me here on this YouTube sensation reference. We're going to be discussing the Cuddy Badger, Michael Kadire. He's nasty right now. He has a hit streak going at 25 games. That home run tonight was just crazy. He just hits the ball wherever he wants. We'll get to that later. I'm talking Honey Badger, Cuddy Badger. Come on, Cha-ching as well for Chulis Chassin. 8 innings pitched. In his last 3 outings, in fact, he's gone 7+. That definitely makes a statement for these starters. And as always, we're going to get you interviews with the players and into the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show.
You're so creative.
You like that? I know you've seen the Honey Badger. That's your favorite, George.
Yeah, I'm all over that. Love it.
All right, guys, get back to baseball.
Okay.
All right, Jenny. Don't forget, by the way, Toyota Talk continues during the entire postgame show, so keep texting in your comments. Rex Brothers on, George.
Never easy. I mean, he's had the ability to go out and shut down the opposition. 1 inning look, fastball ranging 90 to 96 miles an hour, hard slider to go along with it, but more importantly, pitching. His 0.27 earned run average in the National League, #1.
1-1 on Buster Posey. Chassin gave up 3 hits tonight. Posey has 2 of those. There's the earned run average George is talking about. It's not even close. 0.27 the earned run average for this lefty. This ball away, 2-1.
There's one thing Rex would like to back away as Chassin watches closely to what Rex Brother closing out this game. He's walked a few more people than he would like.
Yeah, and he's the first one to say, I've got to cut those walks down, especially if I'm going to be a closer sometime.
33 innings, 16 walks, make it getting closer on a 3-1 count to Posey. At 33 1/3, 16 walks, 34 strikeouts.
3, 4, and 5 in the Giant lineup with Posey, Sandoval, and Pence scheduled. And that one hit to right field, sending Kadire back. Michael's looking up. This one is gone.
Now you knew eventually that streak would come to an end. You just didn't anticipate this. Posey's having quite a night, though.
3 hits for Buster Posey. The shutout is gone. It's a 4-1 game. So for Rex Brothers, it was 32 straight scoreless outings, and that's broken tonight by Buster Posey.
Yeah, the fastball on a 3-1 count fell behind and then elevated that fastball. You hear me say this a lot, elevated fastball, they go a long ways. Mistakes get hit a long way up, regardless of how hard the pitch is. The wind had a lot to do with this, that tunnel in right center.
I agree. Off the bat, it did not look like it was going to carry that far. The wind is really whipping right now. Swing and a miss by Sandoval. He's down 0-2. Switch hitter, so he's hitting right-handed against Brothers, and Hunter Pence, another right-handed hitter on deck. Buster Posey with 3 hits, 3 of the 4 hits by his team tonight. Bouncing ball to third. That's a foul ball grabbed by Arenado. Back-to-back sliders thrown by Rex Brothers. He's a great hitter. He's even a greater hitter against the Rockies. He's hitting almost 500 in his career against Rockies pitching. But still a 3-run Rockies lead. 4-1, nobody out in the 9th. First home run, by the way, given up by Rex Brothers this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Came back and got him with that fastball at 96 miles per hour.
Yeah, a little anger coming out of the arm of Rex Brothers after the home run by Posey. It could not have been put any better placement than what this fastball was at 96. You see it on the Mike Shaw Silver Supermo. No chance for Sandoval.
So 1 down, and Hunter Pence at the plate. Pence has walked, struck out, grounded out against Chassin. Foul that fastball back, strike 1. Hunter Pence certainly capable of a long ball. He's got 12 home runs this year. And that slider's low, 1-1. Yeah, you mentioned it, George. It's got to end eventually, that streak of scoreless outings by Rex Brothers, and maybe good that it happens in a game like this where the team is already up by 4 runs.
Oh, and absolutely it does. I mean, it's still significant to him and to personal records of what you had running. But now his thought is get 3 outs and get out of here. Betancourt's warming up in the Rockies bullpen right now.
And that just caught the outside corner at the knees. Pence didn't like the call. And now there is Rafael Betancourt getting loose. He's off the DL today. Now the catcher set up inside to Pence. Just missing a low. Came back with a fastball. It's 2-2. There's a stretch for Rex Brothers of 42 2/3 innings without giving up a home run until Posey hit that one to right. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Rosario. Quick throw to first, and it's not in time. Pence with a strikeout, but he's aboard.
Well, they always say the last 3 outs of a ball game are extremely hard. See where this pitch is. It is in the dirt. Rosario tries to go down, soften the body, but what happened, it looked like it ricocheted off the heel of the glove towards the Rockies dugout. Pence playing the game like he always does, just outran the throw from Rosario.
So now Brandon Belt, the left-handed hitter up there against Brothers. Torres on deck, a switch hitter. Belt has one of those hits tonight. He's got one of the 4. He doubled in the 7th inning against Jhoulys Chacín. Pence at first and 1 out. That pitch to Belt. Fouled it straight back, strike 1. Left-handed hitters hitting just 171 this year against Rex Brothers. There's that threat of a double play with this guy in the dirt. Good stop that time by Rosario. 1-1. Rex pitched in yesterday's game against the Mets. Through an inning, gave up just 1 hit, but it was a scoreless inning. Pitch to Belt. Fouled again off the mask of the catcher, Rosario. Now he's ahead 1-2. He threw a slider to strike 3 to Pence, but the ball got away. It was spiked. We'll see if he comes back with a slider here on 1-2 to Belt.
What he does is one of 2 things: hard slider, or he will take the fastball at 95 on the outside corner. Very difficult to catch up to. It went heater, but it was elevated. It was up out over the plate to give him an opportunity to swing at it. And when you know.
Starting to rain.
Sprinkle.
Yep, here comes the rain now. And Rosario going to jog out the mound and talk to Rex Brothers. 1 out, man at first base. Rockies holding a 4-1 lead in the top of the 9th. The wind came up about a half hour ago, and I had a feeling maybe some rain was behind it. Just a light rain for now. One-two pitch to Belt. Inside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A slider, but it didn't slide a lot. Rockies have scored the 4 runs tonight, but they had plenty of other opportunities. 2 for 13 tonight with men in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a slider. Well, all he can do is shake his head walking toward the dugout. One more to go for the Rockies and Rex brothers.
And it was nasty. Extremely nasty. And this is why Rex is so tough against lefties. I mean, an explosive slider and a total overmatch of belt. When you see a guy swing and his lower half doesn't move much, it's all hands and head, not good.
Now Andres Torres. Ball 1. So Rex has actually struck out 3 guys in the inning. He's given up a home run and struck out 3. Struck out Pence, but Pence got to first base. There goes Pence to second. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Defensive indifference for Pence to get to second base.
Yeah, what you worry about as a manager here with brothers' pitch count, because once these guys, 1-inning guys, get above 25, you start to get a little nervous as a manager. Rex at 22, because you lose them for the next day, or you don't want to use them the next day. And I think the other side of that, with the light rain falling and a stop now, you would be a little concerned about Betancourt with a groin, that if you strike too far and you slip, you don't know.
3-0. There is first base open. A left-handed hitter coming up. Torres will take ball 4. So that'll put a man at first base. And now the lefty swinging. Crawford coming up. And Jim Wright coming out to the mound. Season high in pitches thrown for Rex brothers is 32. That was a game at San Francisco. That was the last time he was scored upon, by the way, and he's got 24 pitches so far in this outing. George making a good point. He's not used to throwing this many pitches.
No, he's not. But now, you know, you kind of got over the fact you've had your streak busted now. You had 3 punch outs. 1 got away from you. Now you got your walk. You just kind of like to finish this up. Get rid of this left-handed hitting Crawford and get the game over with.
Joaquin Arias, a right-handed hitter, is on deck now. He will pinch hit if the opportunity arises for San Francisco. 3 at-bats against Chacin, grounded out all 3 times. Represents the tying run. Ball 1 with a slider to Crawford.
Conversation Jim Wright just had is, what pitch do you feel comfortable with throwing a strike right now? Slider. Then go with it. Just missed off the edge.
Bouncing ball towards second. Could be the game. LeMahieu's got it. Quick throw to first base in time to get the out. And the Rockies have a winner. Rex Brothers comes on, gives up a home run to start the inning to Buster Posey. It breaks up the shutout, but the Rockies get a very nice victory in Game 1 tonight of 3 against San Francisco. Jolie's Chacin 8 shutout innings, and Rex Brothers had that long streak of consecutive scoreless outings broken, but he's happy the Rockies and the team get the victory. It's Jimmy John's delivery of the game, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Freaky fast delivery, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Jolie's Chacin tonight was outstanding. 8 scoreless innings. He had the strikeouts. He was pitching to contact. He got some good help behind him. Just seemed like he found his spots every time he needed to. And Jolie's Chacin wins the ball game. Win number 7. He has now won 4 consecutive starts. 8 shutout innings for a guy who looks like he's quickly becoming the Rockies' ace. Good win for the Rockies. Let's go back out to center field, and here's Jenny.
Thanks, Jerry. Coming up on the Toyota postgame show, you think we got lots to talk about with all these fun fans hanging around? Well, I sure do. We got some pitching if you like pitching. We have home runs if you like the offense. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show. This is a purple-only zone. Behind me, no oranges. Welcome tonight. Stick with us. The Cowboy, Huey and I